Ladies and gentlemen, MEL abilities. Let's take a look. MEL, I don't know how they're going to fulfill the power fantasy. I haven't seen a single video of this. It seems like in this video, she's beating the shit out of Mbessa. It is a champion like this, especially with how OP it is in TFT. I'm scared for what this champion is about to do. Let's take a look.
MEL's abilities have been posted on Chinese social media, so
Chinese
let's have a look
social
at
media,
them.
right?
She is an AP mage that's
Whoa!
primary
Whoa! Whoa! What the hell just happened?
role is mid lane. MEL's passive
She
is
can
called
put this
Searing
on
Brilliance
people.
and it has two effects.
Two effects.
First, MEL's abilities or auto attacks will leave a deadly shadow imprint on the target, which can be stacked infinitely. If there are enough stacks on
shit.
the target, MEL will be able to execute the enemy
Whoa.
if it drops below HP threshold.
Whoa.
And second, whenever MEL uses an ability, her next auto attack will come with an additional 3 projectiles up to a maximum of 9. MEL's Q is called Radiant Volley. It launches a series of flare missiles that explode at the target location, dealing AoE damage to the enemies in the area. Now time for the crazy ability, MEL's W. It creates a barrier around herself, she is immune to damage, and she bounces enemy projectiles back to the attacker, while also gaining movement speed. Non-targeted skills like Lux Q will bounce back towards their source direction, and target-oriented
It's aimbot as well, bro. It's aimbot. Look how well it
targeted
aims.
skills like Lux
Look.
Q
It aims towards it. It aims so well. It's aimbot. What is that?
will bounce back towards their source direction, and target-oriented skills like Vigar Alt will target the original caster. MEL's E is called Solar Snare. It launches a magic ball that roots enemies in the middle of the area and deals damage over time, while also slowing down people in the area.
Nice.
MEL's ult is called Golden Eclipse. She deals damage to all the enemies affected by her passive. Regardless of how far away she is from the target, she will still damage them. Having multiple imprints will cause additional damage. If the passive imprint isn't fully stacked yet, the ultimate move will not consume these stacks. All in all, it looks like proper positioning is gonna be very important on MEL. What do you guys think about her?
Wow.
Let me know in the comments. Cheers.
Wow.
MEL's
I don't
ability-
know. There's so much power in her W. I don't know. The amount of power in her W. Like, think about anything. Like, I think about the other abilities that have like this level of power. It's like Yasuo Windwall, or let's say like Samira W. Like, the cooldown is probably going to be very, very long, but we're going to have scenarios where holding W is going to be like so damn powerful against certain champions. Like, this champion is just going to like soft counter, not soft counter, but hard counter so many champions. Like, even in the interactions that we
These have
saw,
been posted
right?
on Chinese social media,
Like,
so let's have
like
a look
Loki
at
is
them.
whatever, right? But
She's
this, for
an-
example, like, this is insane. Like, being able to like send Poppy ult back is nuts, I think. There's some abilities in the game that are just simply projectiles, and they are a very, very important part of people's kits. Like, the champions that have single target abilities, I don't think it's as big, but it's like just the projectiles that you send out. Like, or in the
AP
other example
mage,
that they showed,
that's
like
primary-
Irelia ult. Like, Irelia ult, that's pretty crazy. Like, think about like Renata, bro. Like, Renata, anything that is kind of screwed by Windwall, or is even more screwed against this ability. Ornn, like Ash Arrow, like all of those abilities are just going to be tremendously hurt by this champion being in the game. Or for the rest of the kit, I think for the rest of the kit, I guess it's like, it's cool, you know, you apply your passive and you want to hit as many champions as possible and then ult to trigger that. I think that's fine. I don't think there's anything too powerful with that. I think that's all right. I was expecting her to be more like supportive, you know? I really expected her to be more supportive. I thought this is going to be like a support, but this is definitely like screams a champion that wants gold because of how much damage there is in her kit. I do think
very roll for the target,
the ability,
which can be stacked infinitely.
the
An
ability
max series
that
of
roots
enemies,
looks
3
pretty
enemy
fucking
projected
powerful
skills
too.
like Alt Q
I
will
scream
bounce
that it's
back
like aimbot, bro. It is straight up. It's like
towards their source direction, and
wow.
target-oriented skills like Vigar Alt will target the launches a magic ball that
This one seems very strong because I'm just
MEL's
looking at
E
it.
is called Solar
Like,
Snare.
look at the range of that. The range of that is crazy. Like this E looks insanely powerful, and like all abilities also apply the passive. I do think that this is the range of E
target
looks
the original
ridiculous for what
caster.
it is. It's a root.
MEL's E is called Solar Snare.
Look it lasts
It
so
launches
long
a
too,
magic
you know?
ball that roots enemies in the middle of the area and deals damage over time, while also slowing down people in the area. MEL's ult is called
That's
Golden
so
Time,
strong, bro. The
while
range is
also slowing
crazy.
down people in the area.
Okay, well this looks like a balancing nightmare in my opinion. It's unique, right? It adds a new mechanic, but I get worried about things like this, you know? I get worried about things like this. This is just probably like a mid laner, probably like a mid laner. She doesn't carry any mobility. I'm curious to see how well she wave clears, especially because of how her Q and E is. Like seeing as she has AoE abilities, I think there's a high risk that she wave clears well, and then I think she's going to be just solid. Like this is a mage with a built-in hourglass on crack, with you know, the damage output being gated, which forces you to play a certain way, which is kind of cool, I think. But I'm worried about this W ability, bro. This is going to serve as a hard counter. The main issue with the W ability like that is that it should just pull so much power budget from everything else in your kit that there's going to be, like, she's going to turn into like a niche champion that is going to be picked in certain scenarios, because she needs to get value out of her W, like a lot of value out of her W to be useful. And the balance in between that, I'm not so sure how it's going to work, especially because Riot wants to kind of have champions that are useful always and very strong in some scenarios and weaker in some, but still playable. And I think that's going to be like a very big challenge. But I can't imagine that her Q and her E, like they will probably have like reduced damage to minions. I'm not so sure how the passive works on minions either, in terms of how it works. But the extra bolts on auto, like the fact that you can put all bolts on one auto and that you don't need to like weave in 3 autos like Aurora passive or something, it is kind of crazy. I'm assuming that the reflection of W will throw back the ability in the same exact variant as the one that throws. That I don't think should be like scaling off of like MEL. I don't think that makes sense. No, I don't think that's something that does make sense. It should be the same damage of the initial person that throws, but maybe it's a nightmare to code. Could be something that is nightmarish to code. I really don't have an idea. I'm just speculating.
Launch itself, she is source direction and target-oriented skills like Vigar of the area and deals damage over time.
This E-spell is also crazy. I don't know. Just look at that range, guys. Just look at the damn range here when she does it in the example.
Caster. MEL's E is called Solar.
Look at the range. Look at the range, by the way. Wow. Like this E range is crazy. This is like a Lux E that roots. That is slightly slower than Lux E, I would say. I think also what is nasty about W, I am thinking about, like, let's say you are playing a MEL against, for example, Victor, and you just, in a trade, you bounce back the laser, he gets hit by the laser, and you QE. Like, that sounds crazy already, no? Like, that sounds really insane. And then the question is the mana cost and the cooldown. Can you use it once per wave? Like, I'm not so sure. Because this is one of those abilities where I think I wouldn't be surprised if it has like a 40-second cooldown on rank 1. Just so you don't use it once every wave, you know? Something crazy like that, man. Good thing she's AP though, so she can't like stack Speed of Sojourn and shit like this and get ability haste, but exactly, like I like Mel as a character, but I'm worried because in the lore she's OP. So how do you fulfill that power fantasy? You let her reflect shit, bro. You let her reflect
But look at them.
popules. That's crazy. That's straight up nuts.